Monday, October 24th, 2016, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I like to talk about globalization and whether the globalists are actually engineering a reset of the economy of the West through a collapse of currencies and a collapse of the financial system in order to, reset the economies, not the currencies, but reset everything, liquidate all the bad debts, all the toxic assets, all the derivatives, because, you've probably heard a lot of people in the alternative media and even mainstream media talking about how nothing's been fixed since 2008. They just threw more debt into the system to keep the system going. Central banks with QE, bailouts, trillions and trillions of dollars upon trillions to save the system. But what's that done? That's just built a huge mountain of debt, not to talk about either the all the unfunded liabilities of the baby boomer generation. So hundreds and hundreds of trillions in liabilities that have only been able to be kept alive through very low interest rates, which are not sustainable at all. And basically they had to buy time to soup up asset prices and to, tell people, the general public, that things have been fixed, there's been reform, but we all know that there hasn't been. Even Mervyn King, in his new book, The Alchemy of Finance, admits that nothing's been fixed, that there's been no banking reform, that we need, and in the States as well, a lot of even mainstream economists admit that we need to bring back Glass-Steagall, that the banks have gotten even bigger and too big to fail. And why am I talking about that and engineering a collapse? Well, because they've had to tell us the last few years that we've recovered, that things are back to normal, that they fixed the banks, so that if they do bring a new collapse, they'll have another scapegoat, so that the public won't get angry at the globalists and the bankers and the governments. So I think personally what they're using is this movement that has evolved from the '08 crisis, which is for more sovereignty and less globalization. And the two poster children, so to speak, of this movement this year have to be Brexit in the UK and Trump in the US. Brexit was a shock and a surprise to the system, and supposedly, and we've seen the British pound plummet. The economy is slowing down, and everything now that happens that's bad economically is blamed on Brexit and the uncertainty, and no one talks about what happened in 2008, the fact that we've doubled the national debts, that we haven't fixed the banks, that they still carry hundreds of trillions in notional derivative contracts. So yes, and I think with Trump, the same thing is being set up. He's going to be used by the powers that be if he wins, and I think there's a good chance that he wins. There's some interesting research, or how can I say, a system, polling system by a professor in the States, Helmut Norpoth, and his system has predicted all presidential elections since 1912 has been correct, the predictions in his system, except for 1960. And he's saying that Trump is going to win in a landslide, and that his system is giving him almost a 90% certainty that Trump will win. So I personally think that the powers that be are going to use a Trump victory, especially with all the comments that Trump has been making, how he's going to put America first, how he's going to, kill globalization. So I think we live in very interesting times. And the only reason why I think this could be engineered is that it's the only way for them to reset the system economically and financially. It's almost like if you look at yourself individually, or if you've get into too much debt, if you lose your job, and you have to do something. You have to liquidate your assets, sell your house, buy a smaller house, pay off your debt, try to find a job. But now this is globally, we have this problem, especially in the West. So what do? Well, you have to liquidate everything. You have to reset your currency, bring your currency down to make your debt more affordable. You've got to let the system collapse to start again. And one of the reasons I've got this theory is that there was a comment by FDR, and he said that nothing in politics happens by accident. And I'm not saying that Trump is a puppet, and I think he has a lot of support of the American people. But watching the other day, I think it was on the 21st, he had that dinner, Alfred E. Smith Memorial Dinner in New York, and Hillary was there, and he was there. They're sitting. They had the Cardinal of New York, Catholic Cardinal of New York, sitting between them, and they made speeches, and you had the elite, the powers that be from New York, the richest people in the United States, most powerful politicians, all in the same room. And I know Trump made some pretty nasty remarks about Hillary, some of them true, but it just felt like they're not really enemies. Why would they be there, sitting with these very important people like that? I don't know. It's just my way of thinking. So, but what's the best way for us who, people like you and like me, who want to protect themselves and their families? We don't know what is going to happen exactly. These are just things that I've come up with from years of studying systems, observing politics, economics, and in the end of the day, the most important thing is not to try to put on a trade for this to happen and make millions. I think it's to protect yourself. And what do I mean by that? Well, by having real money, gold, silver, and I've been investing in gold and silver and also cryptocurrencies since 2002. Not cryptocurrencies, but gold and silver, cryptocurrencies more in the last 2-3 years. And it's not even investing, it's like trying to save outside the system, the fiat money system. And if you just want to touch upon here, if you look at the British pound, I've got a chart here. We ended last year at 716, the British pound price of gold. And right now we're at 1,034, so it's up more than 40%. So it has protected people in the UK against the currency crisis we've had. We've had a currency crisis since Brexit, and we've had one since 2014, I would argue, because we were at 170 in 2014. We're now at 122. And before Brexit, we were around 145, 150. So we've been in a currency crisis for the last 2 years. So gold has protected UK investors, especially since the end of last year. And if you look at just on the day after Brexit, so on June 24th, gold spiked higher in British pounds from below 850 to above 1,000. And now we're at 1,034, so we've gone up more than 20%. And I'm not trying to show you this chart and tell you that you've missed the boat or anything, because I don't think you ever miss the boat if you have enough fiat money saved and you're able to exchange that for real money. You should try to do that, in my opinion. That's what I do, and I try to do that as much as I can. And in the long term, it protects my my savings. So, yeah, I just think it's very uncertain times. Am I 100% sure that the dollar is going to drop against gold like that on the November 9th? Maybe it won't. You know, gold is... Maybe it won't, but I don't think it's going to drop either that much if it doesn't do anything. And I think, you know, this could be a rerun. You know, the Brexit was just like an appetizer to what might happen if we have a Trump victory. And if the powers that be bring the markets down, you know, if they create financial instability and we have a crisis worse than '08, they've got a perfect scapegoat. The American public who voted for Trump and his movement, those people who are, you know, against globalization, those people who are nationalists and want their country back. So hopefully I'm wrong, and I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. What I mean by that, hopefully I'm wrong and Trump is for real and the system doesn't collapse, but things, you know, improve, and they won't improve in the first 100 days. It will take time. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, the question is, are the globalists engineering a collapse by design, and we're just like pawns in their game? Maybe. And if we are, I think there are ways to protect yourself. And one of them is holding precious metals and not playing their game. And what's their game? Well, their game is to like make, you know, encourage people to spend beyond their means. Yeah, and do things that are not in your self-interest. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. We're almost there, November 8th, not long to go. So with that, you know, I leave you. And if you like my videos, please like them, share them, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you'd like to donate as well, there's some links below in the description. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.